Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff. For those joining us for the first time, welcome. We know it can be scary coming to a new place for the first time. We appreciate your presence and thank you for placing your trust in us today. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. And thank you for continuing to be a part of this lovely community. Each Sunday, we gather here to build connection, strengthen ourselves, and make our world a better place for all. As Unitarian Universalists, we serve and welcome everyone. It does not matter your background, orientation, identity, income, affiliation, or belief. What matters is that here you belong. Today is Mother's Day, a time when we celebrate those who birthed us, those who helped us grow, those who helped us discover ourselves, and those who loved us, even when we thought no one else would. We understand that some individuals could not be here in person with us today, but we know that they are with us in spirit, today, tomorrow, forever. Mother's Day is also when we come together in renewed hope that the world will continue its efforts to end the constant violence and conflict that continue to plague its people. For today, on this occasion, we bring back into the light what stirs our souls to work towards a brighter future, the desire for peace. I am not a mother. I do not know what it is like to be a part of this exclusive club. Yet, I do know that motherhood is not defined by the sole action of giving birth to another life, but by the steps needed to make that new life whole. These are moments that we sometimes take for granted. It is teaching others that over time, with love and support, they grow to become those who don't just survive, but thrive. It is giving to those in need everything that they may have, even when they do not have enough left to offer. And it is caring for those that have no mutual connection with, yet they do know that they matter to someone else. In short, it is a desire to instill in others wisdom, patience, and understanding. Skills that, it feels like, many seem to lack more and more of nowadays. Regardless of the outcome that we live in, the intent is still pure. So, let us give thanks to the women that brought each and every one of us to this point in time today. And may we never forget the collective impact that they have made on all of us. And now, let us worship together. We will now light our chalice with words from Claudine Olivier. We light this chalice for mothers and mothering, to celebrate those who have taken on the task of nurturing a young one, baby, child, or youth, into adulthood, to celebrate those who have nourished the light of truth and compassion in growing minds and hearts, to celebrate those who have committed time, money, energy to the growth of others in this world. We light this chalice to celebrate and hold dear this flame of love. Our opening words come from Heather K. Januels. Called by loss, called by grief, called by peace. We come this day called by war, by the suffering we inflict and endure when minds across borders fail to reason and compromise. We come this day called by loss, to deaths of those who serve in our name, those whose lives end before their natural course, in service to a cause greater than their own. We come this day called by hope, hope that we will, in some season, finally surrender our swords for plowshares. And we come this day called by peace. May we remember its song. May we proclaim its promise. May our remembrance today renew our struggle. We can never stay or rest.
It may seem strange that a woman who is not a mother, and in fact who never really wanted to be one, is speaking about Mother's Day. But I am a peace activist, and peace and Mother's Day have long been linked. For Mother's Day itself, Julia Ward Howe wrote the following proclamation: "Arise then, women of this day. Arise, all women who have hearts, whether your baptism be that of water or of tears. Say firmly, we will not have great questions decided by irrelevant agencies. Our husbands shall not come to us reeking of carnage for caresses or applause. Our sons will not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience. We, women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs. From the bosom of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe out dishonor, nor violence indicate possession. As men have often forsaken the plow and the anvil at the summons of war, let women now leave all that may be left of home for a great and earnest day of council. Let them meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead. Let them solemnly take counsel with each other as the means whereby a great human family can live in peace, and each bearing after her own time the sacred impress not of Caesar, but of God. Julia Ward Howe was not the first woman to call for peace, nor the most recent. Greek warriors began together for the assault of Troy to retrieve Helen, who they were pledged to protect and bring home. Odysseus was among the Greek leaders who had pledged to bring her back, but he was not enthusiastic about going. When other Greek warriors and kings came for him, he dressed in his mother's clothes, hoping to evade them. It didn't work. He was recognized and shamed into joining the expedition. Years later, after the fall of Troy, the Odyssey is the story of his adventures on the way home. Another more recent story is that of the Aztec goddess Tonan, also called Tonantzin. Though powerful, the Aztecs were no match for the mounted and armed Spaniards. Among the other indigenous people had been conquered was a man named Juan Diego. Juan Diego was on an errand, and as he trudged up a small hill, he heard a woman's voice calling his name. He looked around, but saw no one. Then, at the crest of the rise, he saw a woman in peasant's garb, beckoning to him. He knew she was not a tribe from that area. He took off his hat and kept his eyes to the ground. She told him to go to the city and take a message to the archbishop there. Tell him, I want a church built here in my honor and dedicate it to me. Juan Diego said they would not see him, who didn't even have shoes or speak their language very well. She said she would take care of it. So he went to the city and spoke to a priest who said that he would carry the message to the archbishop. After many hours, he saw the archbishop, who listened but did not believe him and sent him away with a blessing. He went back to the hill where he had seen the woman. It was winter and very cold. He told her what had happened, and she told him to take off his tilpa. When he did, he saw that the ground surrounding him was filled with roses. The woman told him to fill his tilpa with roses and go back. He did, and filled the tilpa with roses, tying it loosely, and started back to the city. When he got there, the archbishop was eating breakfast. He again saw Juan Diego, and Juan Diego held up the tilma and opened it. He expected the roses to fall to the floor, but they did not. The archbishop gasped, and Juan looked also. He and the clergy there saw an image of the lady on the cloth with roses around her. The archbishop said to tell the Virgin Morena, that's dark virgin, he would build her church, and she would become the patroness of New Spain. They fed Juan Diego, gave him a new tilma, and sent him to deliver the message. This is the traditional image of the Virgin. And around. And this is one that was left by Bobby Icas. It's similar, but made with fabric flowers. And finally, my own favorite, this more modern version. A similar thing happened in the American Southwest, where the Dene and other tribes call her Changing Woman, who stands on a rainbow that appears after a storm. The storms are important because they need the moisture in the Southwest. But they also do great damage with wind or even starting fires. Among the Great Plains tribe, they call her White Buffalo Woman. And White Buffalo Woman is also associated with peace because she brought the peace pipe. The tribe survived, and most of their cultures survived. Here, one last story which I can remember but could not document. About a decade ago, there were rebellions in some of Russia's Asian republics. The Russian army was being sent there to stop the rebellions. Some of you may remember this period, those of you who are as old as I am, where after, I believe, Yeltsin, the several of the republics totally broke loose from Russia. The Russian army was being sent there to stop the rebellion, but the mothers of many soldiers went into the bases and literally took their sons home. And finally, a Mother's Day peace action at Mockingbird Station yesterday. So that association continues, and may it always. Thank you.
The time has come to extinguish our chalice. As we do so, I would also like to read today's closing words. Go in peace, seeking justice. From Unitarian Universalist Minister Jim McGaw. When I say, go in peace, I don't mean go in mindless oblivion. When I say, go in peace, I don't mean go without challenging yourself or others. When I say, go in peace, I don't mean go in utter ease and comfort. When I say go in peace, I mean go in peace, seeking justice. I mean go in peace, committed to equal rights and opportunities for all. When I say go in peace, I mean go in the peace that was created when, together, we build communities of true solidarity, deep compassion, and fierce, unrelenting love. Go in peace.